Yeah? I mean, I'm doing a charity thing for cancer research.
Oh yeah.
He's getting in the ring, he thinks he's hard, thinks he can knock me out, but I'm going to absolutely smash his face in. Yeah? Come on, right? So I'm going to train him to beat me up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but are you going to be in a wheelchair as well?
Yeah. By the time he finishes with me, probably. No, he thinks I am. I'm not going to sit in the wheelchair. I'm going to dance around him like, hey! 1, 2. Block, 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 block. 1, 2. I'm going to PC some
Right, I go to all the gyms around our way, but it's the first time I've been down here. Met a few of the lads. Interviewed he looks a good kid, Myron.
He can fight, mate. Future minimum European champion, I think. But like I said, that's just my opinion. All fighters say they're going to do this, but you know what I say is one thing, and what they do is another. Yeah. Potentially wise, they've got the potential to be a world title.
But what's nice is these kids that I've been seeing you with down there have been with you from the amateur days all the way.
It's easy to go and be a matchroom fighter and have Simsy, no disrespect to Simsy, but get given the cream all England and making them look like the this and the that. For me, there's only one ever, the best trainer ever to come out of Britain is Brendan Ingle. Yeah. So, you know, and he's always done it from grassroots. But you know, all of these trainers down south get these, especially. This is not a slagging off job to any of these trainers. I'm just saying to you. But if you're getting already built fighters, where's it come from? Where that?
Well, this is what's nice about this era now, with the amateur coaches allowed to bring their boys through. I think we're going to see kids moving a little bit faster than perhaps they did, because you know them, like you know you're doing here with Harry. Yeah. You know, it's only his 8th fight and a big step up to be fighting for the English title. But you believe, because you know him so well, because you've been with you since you're what, 12 years old?
Yeah, 12 years old.
You know, 14 years that is.
Yeah.
So if you don't know him, who does?
And I think, you know, Brendan Ingle put me into a 10-rounder with Michael Murray after having 4 fights. So I know it's doable, understand? At the end of the day, people say he's never done this, he's never done that many rounds, but when you get in the ring, you've got to do it, haven't you?
Well, you've got to do it at some point, haven't you?
You've got to do it. And that's not, one thing we're not worrying about is the distance. No. That's one thing I'm not worried about, the distance.
Well, let's go right back to the beginning for you. How did you get into boxing? Because I believe you did a little bit of everything, didn't you, when you was younger?
Yeah, to be fair, I started off as a boxer when I was about 7 or 8, I think. I was on the park. Right. And somebody must have got some boxing gloves for the birthday or something, because it was summer, I remember. It wouldn't have been Christmas, we'd been on the park. And everybody made a circle, there was one glove each, everybody's having a go. So that's how my boxing career started. Put up a glove on, started fighting, pop, pop, pop.
But this is your town, Derby is, you know.
I am Derby.
But you went to Sheffield.
Yeah, I went to Sheffield.
You took yourself out of your comfort zone, and at that time, arguably one of the best gyms in the country.
Yeah, I was with my coach, an amateur coach from the Merlin Amateur Boxing Club, and I decided, he says, yeah, come to Sheffield, just spar with Johnny Nelson up there. So I went up there, spoke to Brendan, sorted out some sparring. So I come up there. I'd met Johnny Nelson before, because Johnny Nelson came and boxed in Derby, boxed my cousin called Peter Reid, and we nearly had a right scrap in the change rooms, because that's what we were like at times. Yeah. He was giving it a big one, and I thought we were just going to smash him up in the change rooms, just jumping. So we're going to Sheffield now. I didn't even realise it was him at the time. So walked in the gym. Johnny's European champion at the time. Walked in the gym. Johnny looks at me. He looks at Brendan and goes, "Can you fight?" And walks off. I was fuming. I think you'll find out in a minute. You'll find out. Jump in the ring with him. I couldn't hit him with a handful of rice. Couldn't hit him. And I thought, with my aggressive style, what I've got, and with his defence, this is going to be a good match here. That's the reason I went to Sheffield.
Right. And now, he's your probably closest friend in boxing?
Definitely my boxing brother.
Yeah.
By far. He's learnt me so much about being a professional fighter, how professionals need to train. But then again, you know, it's a two-way street, you know, because he was a little choir boy when I met him. And I showed him the dark side.
You showed him the street fighting?
Yeah, I just showed him how street life is, understand? I told him a bit of street, he told me how to be a professional. Which for me was very, very interesting, and you know, it was showed me how to do it properly. That's why I improved.
Well, you know, I only just found out before, you said it was, you were forced to stop medicals.
Yes.
You know, because it was only a short career, 91 through to
96.
just before 97.
Yeah.
Pretty good career though. You know, 20
Yeah.
fights, 18 wins, 16 stoppages.
Yeah, I could put them away. I just feel that I had a very stop-start career. Basically, when I was with Brendan, it was one of them situations where he had Prince Nassim, and he was just turning pro, and he was taking him from one promoter to another promoter. And as soon as he did that, all the promoters, like at the time it was Mickey Duff and Barry N, and they completely, because he took him off one promoter, they said do not use any of their fighters. Took him off another promoter, do not use any of their fighters. So I'm sitting there, boxed. I had 7 fights, boxed one opponent 3 times, one opponent twice. So I'm not really going nowhere, and that's not my fault. So,
do you know, saying that though, I always find that hard, you know, because you beat him and you stopped him. I think John Howard, you stopped each time. Yeah. I always find that hard, that, because when you've already done something like that, how do you get to do it better? You know what I'm saying?
It's very hard to motivate yourself to get back in the same kid. But I had no choice. Did it, got through it. So then I decided, I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me was Enrique Wande was boxing Axel Schultz for the European. So Brendan sent me to London to spar with Ake Wande. So I got there. I said, how much am I getting to spar with him? I've got 3 young kids at this time. He says, you'll be alright, don't worry about it. You'll be alright, just go down there. I got down there, I asked him how much we're getting. He went, 30 quid. 30 quid a day. I went, you what? He's on 90 grand, this kid. Yeah.
You should have been able to afford a bit more.
Yeah. So I thought, I'm here for 3 days anyway, because I've got to go back after 3 days. I'll do the 3 days, and then going back. I went and sparred with Aki one day. I was expecting to actually get it. I put on me. Do you know what? I'm a lot better than I thought I was.
So that gave you the confidence for going forward then?
Yeah. I mean, I just knew I knew I could fight anyway. Yeah. But when you get in there with a kid,
but fighting and boxing are 2 slightly different things, aren't they?
Yeah, but I'm saying fighting, boxing, whatever I was doing, I was working. I was working, and I had no problem sparring with this kid. No problem whatsoever. I thought it'd be hard, and you put expectations on these other kids that they're a lot better than what you think they are. When you get in the ring, you're better than what.
Well, do you know? I think it was a little bit mysterious in those days because we didn't have YouTube. We don't have these channels like we've got now. No. So that was a side of boxing that no one ever seen until you were actually involved in it yourself. Yeah. So you had nothing to prepare you for that, did you?
No. So I got in there, did the job, sparred quite easily. So Mickey Duff owed me a job, a fight. Yeah, but. Me personally, I was absolutely, because I thought he sent me down and mugged me off for 30 quid. I understand what he was trying to do. He wanted me to go down there for Mickey Duff to see me and think, you know what, we need to sign this kid.
And what happened then?
Well, to be fair, he didn't tell me that, did he? He just sent me down there. So I was absolute. So I left because I wasn't happy. Understand? So
well, that's what I was going to get back to, because as a pro, you started under the name of Paddy Riley, which is a little thing that Brendan used to do all the time, didn't he?
He just changed the names, changed the Paddy Riley from Paddy James off. To be fair, Paddy Riley's undefeated, you know. Good fighter he was. I should have probably kept the name in hindsight. But to be fair, you know, I did it for a little bit, and then I got bored of it and changed my name back. So
it made you stand out though, because when a big black man gets in the ring called Paddy Riley, you're thinking, hang on.
You'll understand this, yeah. I remember I think it was Barry McGuigan saying that he was in Ireland and it was screen sport at the time when I was fighting on.
Yeah.
And he said, it's good to see 2 heavyweights, two Irish heavyweights fighting each other, Paddy Riley and Michael Murray. You know what I mean? And when he got in the ring, there was two big black guys getting in the ring. So that was quite interesting.
Well, let's skip forward now. I've been down here, you're a coach, trainer. Tell me some of the things that because you've got SA Security, which does all the darts and all the boxing shows.
We don't do the darts. We do the boxing, gymnastics, pool, snooker, fishing for matchroom.
Fishing? You don't need security for fishing, do you?
Well, I don't know, because I don't even like fishing, so it's not really my cup of tea. But Cy Roberts, that actually runs the security for me, he's a massive fisher. So he loves his fishing. Me, I think it's the most boring thing you can do, but there you go. So whatever floats you.
One of the biggest pastimes in
yes,
isn't it?
Because everybody sits there doing nothing. Just not getting the stress off the missus anymore, they can just sit and relax. I get in a boxing gym where I can just forget about everything. When I'm in a boxing gym, it's just about boxing.
So, it was 22 years ago you retired from boxing.
Yeah.
How long ago did you set this place up? Is it One Nation?
I started, my One Nation started in 1997. I finished boxing in 1996.
Oh, that's what's on the wall with the Rams and you've got 1997 on it?
Yes, established 1997.
Right.
Yeah, so I bought this building 11 years ago nearly. And to be fair, it was on Homes and a Hammer. When I bought it, they did a program on it, so which is quite good.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they came in, because I bought it at the auction. But, like I said,
you've had quite a. I was looking down there. There's pictures of Michael Jackson, Tyson, everyone in. Who's
yeah,
who?
but to be fair, boxing has gave me the lifestyle, and plus, obviously, it's got to come from your parents as well. Good grounding, good etiquette, and being able to speak to people right. But like I said, the most important thing you can do in front of somebody is you get one chance to make a first impression.
Yeah.
So either you like me or you don't like me. And I'm not. I'm odd, as in like we're training that. I don't. If something's wrong, it's wrong, innit?
But for someone who I was watching you with your lads, and you do a lot of technical training with them, a lot of technical sparring. It's not what I'd imagine from someone who took out 16 of his 18 wins, and most of them inside 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know what I find.
This...
I think I can't train people the way I fight. I train people to their ability. I don't train.
So you don't pick it. You'll work with anyone, and you'll just try and bring out the best of them.
Yes. Rather than me saying, right, everybody trains to this style. I don't. Manchester's fighters usually all box the same. To be fair, England fighters box the same. You come to my gym, you're gonna get 12 different styles. Understand?
I'd say that was probably right, maybe.
A few years ago.
But I think now things have changed. I think coaches have to be more adaptable, aren't they? They switch it in. I remember when you'd start in the gym, you'd start with the basics and you'd
left hand, boom.
But that's not the case now. It seems that they let kids express themselves, don't they?
You've got to. I'm like this. I've got kids down there, yeah.
Well, what's that kid who's had 2 fights?
Yeah.
Novice, the development champion. Won the 10 fights. Won them, having 1 fight, went into him, and won them.
Nice.
This kid can fight for fun,
Well, that's what the novices prove, that's what I'm saying.
but it's all about attitude. If he's got the wrong attitude, he'll do nothing. He needs to change his attitude. Change his attitude, nobody beats him.
How old?
16, full of spunk. You know what I mean?
He was 16 years old, and he looks a super talent.
Super talent. Won the novice ABAs after having 1 fight, going to the novice ABAs and won them. And the kid that he boxed in the final, from London, I think he's from the Lynn or somewhere like that, had 9 when he went in him. So when he boxed him, he was up to about 14 fights. My kid was up to 5. And my kid nearly stopped him. So I'm saying that sometimes kids walk in the gym, you can't take any credit from them. They can just do it.
Yeah.
Understand?
No, I don't, because it never used to be like that. Like I say, with my day, and maybe it's just your day, you'd have 15 fights, you'd still be classed as a novice.
Yeah.
Then you'd be intermediate, then you'd be open, and you'd be in the championships, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Now, I think there's that many tournaments for the kids to progress in, and they're also spread over 4 weeks rather than 4 months or 5 months. Do you remember like the championships, the ABAs, from January to May, wasn't it?
You'd get a folder, in the ABAs, with a wimpy.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Wimpy, and sponsored by Wimpy, and you'd know every date. Now you don't even know what the championships are.
No, they do change a little bit. Don't they?
They're absolutely useless. The amateurs are actually organisation.
Well, ours is not too bad in the Northwest because what we have a Northwest where all the dates are posted up and spread around quite well. So I follow them and I film them a lot. So, but I do believe that the standard of boxing, it excites me for what's coming. Like you said, that kid 2 fights, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, go away.
Listen, like I said to you, I don't take it. Do you know what I said to him the other day? I said to him, what actually do you bring to boxing? What actually have you brought to boxing? Because really, you don't work hard enough for me. That talent that you've got was God-given. What do you personally bring to it? You need to bring hard work to that talent, because if you don't, hard work will beat your talent.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So that's how I speak to him. I said to him, as long as he changes his attitude, he can fight. He'll be a horrible one for the future.
Well, I spoke to Myron, who's the English champion at lightweight, defending it the day after Harry fights Jack Flatley for the English. So there's a possibility you could have 2 English champions that have been trained by yourself
From day one.
Which means your possibility of within 2 fights for each one of them, they could be British champions.
Yeah, I would love to stick with Joe Cordina. I'll put Myron in there tomorrow. I know he beat the kid that he just beat Myron, yeah, that Gavin Gwynn.
Yeah.
And Gavin Wynn's an absolute freak of a monster. But after 4 rounds, he'd done his hand. He couldn't even keep him off. So listen, Gavin got the win. Fair enough. I didn't think he won it even though, but I'm not crying over it. Tony Borg and his team up there, tremendous people.
Yep.
But I still feel it's a better fight with Joe and with Myron. Mills and Cordina. That's an absolute chess match of a fight.
And these are all fights that are a good possibility of happening.
They will happen eventually.
Some of them could happen even before the end of the year.
Yeah, and I'm kind of sitting here thinking, you've got to. Steve Woods knows, if you don't invest in your own fighters, put your own shows on, you're not going to get on these shows. You've got to build records on your own. You've got to build them. You've got to invest your time, your money, and your efforts. And your family life loses out for it, because I don't see my kids as much as I want to see them, because I'm always in the gym. Understand? So the missus is always going to remain because I'm always in the gym. But I will say that as from the aspects of boxing,
do you get great satisfaction from seeing this? Because like I say, there's not many people who are in the situation that you are, who've brought kids right the way from nothing to being something.
Yeah, you know what? I have had a lot of good education in boxing regarding where I've been and around the people I've been with. So, for me not to pass that knowledge on would be very, very selfish. Understand? And because my career got cut short through no fault of my own, I needed to. If I can't make myself a champion, if I can make these champions, and that's as good as me being a champion, you know. And I feel, anybody that does one better than I do is going to earn a lot of money.
Well, no, it's like I say, I love this now because I travel up and down the country and I visit with people like yourself and Steffi Bull and all these local promoters who are making it. There would be nowhere for these fighters that you got to go if it wasn't for you and the likes of Steve and my boss and the likes of Steffi Bull and the likes of Carl Greaves and all these guys.
Carl Greaves, John Pegg, Errol Johnson. They're all Midlands promoters, and we're all friends and we all work together. At the end of the day, because the Midlands don't get nothing. The Midlands, you think about it, what the Midlands get? Nothing.
And you class yourself a Midlands here?
Midlands.
Is it Midlands? Was this East Midlands, is it?
Yeah, East Midlands, yeah. East Middies, son. East Middies, man. So, we don't get nothing. East Midlands, what, you got Cal Alfire, you've had Richie Woodall, Neville Brown, Carl Frost. That's it, really, think about it.
Yeah, he's Nottingham, isn't he?
Yeah, we don't like Forest.
And he had to do it the hard way, didn't he? He had to travel all over the world before he got recognised here.
Yeah, it was only through Matchroom where he got his... Mick Hennessy, very good, another good promoter. good at what he does. I just feel that from what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to give these kids the best opportunity I can. Understand? And as I'm in there with them. You know, like, so you got some trainers and some more back old school. Off you go get paid. I don't need 300 quidly that badly, and that's no. So
there's a passion there.
There's a passion. I'm not doing it. Oh yeah, let me get this kid out. If he fights him, I'm gonna give myself 500 quid.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have the fight and have the win.
It's sad that though, isn't it? That
because there's a lot of.
But we was discussing it before. We were saying like the money in boxing is so, you know, like 1% of the boxing population gets 99% of the money, and then the other 1%
less than 10% of fighters, in England, that earn over 100 grand. Less than 10%, There's probably less than 20% that earn 50 grand.
But let's say they were all doing it for free, weren't they, as amateurs? So I suppose they all do it because we all would just want to find out how good we can be, isn't it?
Listen,
does that frustrate that you never found out exactly because it was cut short, that you never found out how good you could be?
Correct, because I believe that I was destined to be a champion. But like I said, you know, I don't cry over spilled milk. It just wasn't meant to be. You know, just wasn't meant to be. But my son is meant to be.
Yes, I just did a little chat with him before. Lovely lad, and he lived up to the hype last weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, pity the board don't live up to the hype.
Well, hopefully they'll come round. You know what I mean? They ain't coming
round nothing.
Sometimes
they every one of you on that board have committed a sin, but you're making out that you haven't. Yeah, I don't care what the board think. I don't care. Understand? I'll say it how I see it. Yeah, they're all liars. That's how I see it. They tell lies, they pick who they want to box for titles, they do what they like, and if you're not one of them, like I said to you, right, let's get this right. I asked them, I want to get into this, I asked them if, how many men of colour or women, any females on the board, at the top board, any men of colour? None. Why? When I can guarantee you at least 40% of your fighters are people of colour.
Probably more.
Yeah, probably more. I'm being very, very, you know what I mean, relative. So why don't we have anybody? Because I'm telling you now, the black fighters probably give you the most money. Really. If you look at Anthony Joshua, look at Frank Bruno, look at Lennox Lewis, understand? They're just heavyweights, understand? So you say it's not a colour thing. If it's not a colour thing, why is there none of them up there on the board? There's probably got two men of colour and right the way through the board. Every board that it sits.
I think it's like old school, like.
Of course, it's jobs for the boys, isn't it? The British Brotherhood.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I call it. The British Brotherhood of Control. Now, if I get done for it, I get done for it. They charged me $2.5 grand the other day for nothing. Understand? Not the first time. Listen. Some of the things that the board do, I think are right. Some of them I don't. Understand? I do think they should be open, and I think I went to a disciplinary. No, I didn't. I went to the appeal board. How can you have an appeal board what the board pick themselves? Yeah, they pick them. They sit with them before we even get there. So how is that a fair trial? It isn't, is it? It can't be.
I don't know. What was it about? I don't know.
Me swearing at ringside. Yeah.
Right.
So I've said that that's a section 5, yeah, Public Order Act. Yeah.
So what, were you in the corner working, or were you just? Right, okay.
This is to do with the Gavin Gunn fight. After I fought that, I come and asked the judges a question. How would you score a fight? Answer the question. They're standing there like mutes, like they can't speak. Understand? So I'm asking a question. So I did get verbal. I did score a fight because I'm scoring it as the person that lands the punch scores a point. The person that doesn't land a punch doesn't score. So you can throw as many punches as you like. If you're not landing,
no,
you're not scoring.
It's always been a controversial thing, isn't it? Scoring. We all see it's just different things. You know, the Triple G and Alvarez fight. You know, the first one was, I thought, very controversial. You know, but
like I said,
it happens, doesn't it, all the time?
I just feel that, you know, yeah, I do have my bee in my bonnet. But like I said, you know,
but it's weird when knowledgeable people will argue with one another. People who know about boxing will say, "Oh no, that is right," and it's. I know it's crazy, but people. And when you sit down and talk to them, and then you take their take on it, you think, "Oh well."
I think a lot of things boil down to how you box as a person. Yeah, how you judge a fight,
and then you score it in that way, don't you? What you perceive, what you like.
Yeah. So if you like a nice, clean boxer, or you want somebody just, but I'm saying, what's the art of boxing? That's my art. That's mine. What's the art of boxing? Hit.
Well, you seem to want that with your fighters, or you want them to hit and not be hit.
Yeah. Listen.
You think, oh, fighters get hit, don't you?
Yeah, of course you'll fight them. Yeah, and you'll get smashed up on the 28th as well. But I'm saying that is the art of boxing. If it's not an art, you understand? Why you just someone just rob forward, get boom, boom, boom. Be a Sam Eggington and you just take shots and then come back with your own shots. No, if you're gonna hit me, you're gonna have to deserve it. Understand? Yeah. I don't want to get hit. If I can get through that fight and not get hit, I know if you go swimming, you're gonna get wet.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing a flipping raincoat, mate. Understand?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I just feel. Listen, the board's one thing. Understand? Do
you think your son's going to get a license?
If it's down to me, he gets a license. Yeah. I'm do everything. Even if I have to sue the board, I'd love to sue him. I should have sued them when they took my license. But I was too stupid at that time to understand that, because they did deserve to get sued for that. Understand what they did to me? They should have been sued. Yeah, you lot should have been sued. I should have sued your ass.
But we live and learn, don't you? So do you feel you can take something from your disappointment and help your son fighting? Because
well, listen, we are going to fight.
Sometimes you need money, and you can look after. You can do that for him.
I got money.
So that can help though, can't it?
Yeah. But it's not just about money, is it? It's not always about money. But it's about, for me, it's about if he deserves his license, he should get it. Understand?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, you know, if he'd have gone out and stabbed somebody, shot somebody, you know what I mean, jumped all over somebody, it was
an accumulative of errors, wasn't it? No one meant for that to happen. It just happened.
One punch.
A fight happens every night across every city. There's
somebody who's going to bang his head.
Yeah, and you know, that was no one's intention.
No,
and then it wasn't the doctor's intentions to put them on their own machines and things like this. So these are all accumulation of errors that ended in someone's death. And your son's paying the price now.
But the board think that they can play judge and jury people's lives, that they are holier than thou, and they're not. That, like I said, if they have committed no sins in their life, then hold your hand up. Understand? This is nearly, 9 years ago.
Understand? 19, wasn't it?
Yeah, 19. And they're still trying to play God with people, like they're God. You're not God. You're not God. The board's not God. Understand? I'd love to go into their history and see what they've done. Understand?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, we all have skeletons in our closets, don't we? It's just unfortunate that.
But like I said, you know, the board make their decisions because they feel like, listen, their company's no better than my company. What is it? Limited company, just like my company. Limited companies. You understand? That's what it is. Like I said.
Do you know that I hate that though when people say it's just business, because I think it's not just business.
Listen,
everything is personal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, you're interacting with someone else, so interact nicely. There's no reason.
It's very hard. It's very hard for me to have anything nice to say about the board. Very hard. Very hard.
Yeah, I understand.
Very hard, because I have deep from my career now down to my son's career. Understand?
Yeah. Feel it's following you.
Yeah. And they're for no reason. Like they've got a vendetta. They haven't. Like I said, you know, I just think, you know, that you're playing with people's lives. At 19 he got locked up. Yeah, he's got another trade. Go and work at Sainsbury's when he can earn more money doing something else. He has a trade.
Well, you know, like I said, when I just did an interview with him, and when Dillian White and Tyson Fury talk as highly of him as they did, I weren't too sure whether that was just, you know, because they're friends of yours and they're speaking nicely of him. But then when he did what he did at the weekend to a very good friend of mine, who I know is a very, very talented fighter, obviously it's true. He's an
He's
extreme talent.
He's an extreme talent. Listen, Tyson don't have him in camp. Doesn't pay for idiots to come to camp to spar with, to get ready for Klitschko.
Mm-hmm.
That was his secret weapon. Understand?
And that was what? That must have been 4 years ago then.
Exactly. Understand?
Say, we can't go on about that. We'll just have to wait and see. But I hope it does all turn out right for your son, because he seems to be a really nice lad, and to be punished for something that happened when you were 19 and continued 10 years later, it seems a bit harsh. And hopefully
you can see why. You can see why I've got such a distaste for what's happening with that organisation.
It sounds a little bit harsh, doesn't it?
Harsh, a little bit. I think it's more than harsh. Like I said to you, you know, I'm not here asking for favours. I don't want a favour. I just want what's right. And I just feel like it's very hard when somebody that made that rule no longer even works for the board. They've sacked him, but they're still carrying with that rule. Understand? So does that make a lot of sense? Hey?
Well, like I say, hopefully it'll all sort itself out, and we'll see his son in the ring and perhaps become the champion that a lot of people think he can be.
Yeah. I hope to God we beat him. I'd love to turn it over on him so I can stick my rods up right up his face. You understand?
Listen, Clifton, I'm going to say goodbye before I get in trouble myself. But thoroughly enjoyed it down here. Absolutely fantastic. Got some real good kids down here.
Watch out. One nation all day, baby.
On the 28th, like I say, you're coming up to Manchester. We've got the English title on the line, and then the day afterwards you've got your kid defending his English title. So
listen,
exciting times coming.
Listen, thanks again for your time.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure spending time with you. Steve Woods, you've got a good interviewer here. Thought I'd give you a bit of a boost there. Listen, come the 28th, you know, the best man will win on the night. We're still all friends after it. It's just a fight. It's just a fight. We can sit here and slag people off. I'm not about that. The people I want to slag off, you know. So, because I feel like they are playing judge and jury with everybody. But listen, let's forget about that. I love the book, British Boxing Record and Control, the best board in the world.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Take care. See you on the 28th. And like I say, may the best man win.
One nation, all day long.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.